I mean, we were saying the same thing about you. We're like, Jake, you were like in your 40s at the time, right? When you were training with us.
Yeah, like 40 or so when I was out there. Yeah. But that's true.
And he was like doing all this. We're like in an ADCC camp, and Jake is like there for every single session. We're like,
yeah.
Who's this guy?
This is me basically retired, and I'm still going in like 7 days a week. I just, I love training. I'm like I'm a martial artist. To me, I love it. I'm always learning. I'm still trying to learn. Lately, I haven't been training as hard as I used to, but I still try to learn new stuff. I need to come out to Austin still and train with you and John again, because it gets some guys that you guys are always in the cutting edge, new stuff. So
yeah, have to be. Got to stay ahead of the curve.
Which it's so much easier to do that when you have a bunch of other people around watching tape with you. When you're by yourself or guys not as innovative, it's a lot harder when you're the only one trying to innovate. That's what's so amazing about having those rooms when it's such great training like that.
Yeah, when you have like a group of brains, it's a lot easier to get stuff done than when you're just trying to do it yourself. And like John is just like literally having a cheat code. Like it's like you ask John any question about not even jiu-jitsu. You ask him any question about any martial art. You ask him a striking question. You ask him a judo question, a wrestling question, and he has an exact answer and and the why of like why you should do this and not that.
Yeah, he's the only guy. There's a lot of guys that'll ask a question, they'll give you an answer. He's the only guy I've asked a question that's given me a really good answer that makes sense and why to martial arts questions. Yeah. It's insane.
If he doesn't know why you should be doing this, he just won't even answer it. He'll just be like, "Good question. I don't know. I don't know." Like he's not a bullshitter.
It's so rare he says that though, and he can break down. Like, I think maybe heard him say that once or twice, but yeah, he's honest, and he can even break down. Like you could be like, what is a certain boxer? You can ask about a boxer, and odds are he'll know him, or an Iranian wrestler. It's insane his martial arts knowledge.
Yep. I mean, I've watched him teach like judo world team members and Olympian judo. Like I've watched like guys who are on the world team for judo come up and ask John a question about judo. Like it's so insane the amount of knowledge that he has. Like we're doing a podcast right now, and he's like either teaching class or watching tape. It's just like that's all he does.
Yeah, it's all he does. Like the times when we traveled, we'd be traveling the country, we'd get dinner, and then we'd be out. Oh, we want to hang out, do something. John's like, I gotta go watch tape in the room.
Yeah,
just watching tape.
We'll be in an airport, and he'll be like watching a black and white boxing match, and I'm just like, it's like he's like the closest person, not even just on jiu-jitsu, because anytime I see him, he's always just like studying martial arts.
Yeah.
But with any subject, you can ask him like a question about anything. He's like the closest person to Google I've like ever found. Like he just knows everything about every subject. It's insane.
I would agree. The guy's like one of the smartest guys I've ever talked to. Definitely someone I want to get in this podcast soon, because he's truly an interesting individual. Definitely a little different and strange, but he's just so intelligent.
When we go on podcasts together, like we went on like Lex together, and Lex will like ask a question to like it was like I think it was me, George, and him. And he'll ask a question, and it'll be for all three of us, and John will answer the question first. And I'm like, how am I supposed to compete with that? I'm like, you got to ask me a different question than John. There's no way I can articulate an answer that's even close to what John just said. Just go with that answer.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, it's anything too, not just jiu-jitsu. Like all these off topics, he would just have crazy answers.
Yeah. I asked him a question the other day about something, and he didn't know, and he was like so upset with himself that he didn't know. I think it was like because we were in Vegas for ADCC, and I think it was like, what states does the Colorado River run through? And he's like, I don't know. I must research that later. And he like was like so upset about it, and he like looked it up, and then he's like, oh, this, whatever states.
Yeah, I would have done Colorado. That's it. I think it runs into Vegas, and
yeah, I think it's like 4 or 5 different states.
Yeah, that's what feeds the dam here.
Yeah.
So I should know, but I don't. I think it goes to Utah, a few places. So switching up real quick, let's jump into what people probably the match people want to see the most right now. It's probably you and Nikki Rodriguez. I mean, let's like, what's your thoughts on Nikki, that match? I know you guys, if people don't know, you guys had bad blood for quite a bit.
Well, I mean, I've already beaten him twice. I submitted him once, and he called me out because after he won that thing. And he like wanted to try to call my bluff, because I tell Nicky Rod like twice a year, like on WhatsApp. He'll post something, and I'll be like, hey, we can just fist fight if you want. And then he's just like, I don't want any part of that. So he called me out, and I told him previously, like on a direct like WhatsApp message, like I'm not going to acknowledge your existence ever again. Like unless you want to fist fight in the parking lot until one of us is dead, I'm not talking about you. So of course he like wanted to call me out and make it like I was afraid of him.
A big public thing.
So I was just like, I'm gonna say this once. So I said, if we're gonna compete, this is what it's gonna be. You let me know. If you don't let me know, I'm not talking about you anymore. And of course I called his bluff, and he hasn't responded.
Oh, so he hasn't responded. He called you out for $1 million match. And
He called me out. I agreed. He's like, "Oh, call me out. We're gonna, bet $1 million, and we're gonna do it on B Team YouTube channel." And I was like, "You're a fucking loser, and you don't make any of the rules. If you want to fight me, it's gonna be how I want to fight because I'm the guy. You're not the guy."
Yeah, that's true. You're the A list right now.
I've won in every rule set. I've won every tournament. Like, you've never even. What have you won? Like, you won an EBI, you won a CJI in the first year. And the one thing that people don't talk about is everyone's looking at his CJI performance. If you look at who he fought in the like the minus 80 was a really stacked division. The plus 80, he fought Adam Bradley and he fought Felipe Andrew in the semifinals and the finals. Adam Bradley is a guy who couldn't even win the trials to get to ADCC. And Felipe Andrew is a guy who had competed at ADCC and he got submitted first round. Like, he fought two guys who couldn't make it, either couldn't make it to ADCC or couldn't make it out of the first day at ADCC. Yeah. And everyone's like, this guy's a second coming of Christ. And I'm just like, no, you people are fucking idiots.
That's an excellent point that the lighter version was stacked at CGI, but the upper division wasn't.